firasat adalah ilmu salah satu ilmu atau sumber ilmu orang Melayu. Jadi firasat ini rejang juga, macam astrologi dan sebagainya, ini juga adalah satu yang dijadikan panduan untuk orang Melayu untuk mereka berbuat sesuatu. Jadi firasat ni dia adalah kitab-kitab banyak tentang firasat ni kan. What happened is that when Chinese or Arabs, when they married with the Malay, they absorb into Malay lineage. So in Malaysia, this is the case. Yeah. So intermarriage is actually central importance in this work, as you can see. For the greater message, actually, I wish to convey that Malay culture and intellect are not born in isolation. Masa tu orang buat keris tu, macam mana dia tahu? Kan? Macam mana dia tahu zaman Sriwijaya dah, orang dah buat bina tembok, dia campurkan 2-3 jenis batu dan tanah. Macam mana orang Melayu tahu pada waktu tu, di zaman Sriwijaya? Jadi ini handal Melayu, iaitu maknanya dia tahu daripada alam semula jadi, dia tahu juga daripada pengulangan, maknanya dia dah buat banyak kali, dan itu menghasilkan kesempurnaan. Termasuklah dalam kes ini Bedar buat kapal. Only in the modern world I think that it becomes something sensational, become gossips among.
No, it's not about. It's just like about your best friend. Sometimes you think you take your best friend to your house, and then suddenly he fall in love with your mom. Like
he's flirting with your mother.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Merdeka, salam Mari Malaysia dan juga salam Malaysia Madani. Okay, Alhamdulillah pada hari ini kami semua dapat membuat satu bual bicara berkenaan dengan salah satu novel yang berunsurkan patriotik, iaitu novel Bedar Sukma Bisu karya Dr. Faisal Musa ataupun Dr. Faisal Tehrani. Okay, Alhamdulillah pada hari ini kami bersiaran di Oya Cafe di Bandar Puteri. Okay, Alhamdulillah makanan dan minuman di sini pun semuanya bagus-bagus, dan harga pun berpatutan dan tempat pun cantik. Okay, pada masa sama juga pada hari ini juga kita bersama dengan tetamu jemputan kita, iaitu Dr. Faisal Tehrani sendiri ada di sini. Okay, dan tanpa membuang masa, saya pun memperkenalkan diri saya, iaitu saya Muhammad Farhan Aiman bin Suhairi. Saya pelajar sejarah Fakulti Sains Sosial Kemanusiaan UKM, dan ni juga sahabat saya daripada international. Okay, Ali.
My name is Ali, and then I'm from Palestine, also currently under the supervision of Dr. Faisal in Atma, and then I'm a student from UKM and from the FSSK, currently in media communication majoring. And then also Salam Alaikum Malaysia, and then Happy Merdeka as well. Okay. And about this novel, the new novel that is currently updated, which is a translated version of the Bedar Sukma Bisu, and then its English name is the Prau with the Silent Soul. It is actually a very patriotic novel, as I read, promoting the nationalism idea and everything. I think Malaysian will like it so much, but also at the same time, international will get to know about the Malaysia and the part. About this novel, it's about 3 generations, started from Miss Fatima, and after it is Miss Wafada. Then after Miss Wafada is which we call Mr. Haikal, which is kind of like same age from us. You can see the courage of the Malay people in this novel, especially at the end of the part, but I cannot spoil this part. So what's more can you tell us about this novel, Mr. Farhan?
Okay, berkenaan dengan novel ni berdasarkan kepada pembacaan saya, novel ni adalah berkaitan dengan salah watak berkaitan dengan campuran Melayu dan juga Arab, tetapi dalam novel ni lebih menunjukkan kepada sifat Melayu itu sendiri, di mana watak Wafada itu seorang Melayu yang dia berkecimpung dalam bidang akademik, dan pada masa sama juga beliau turut terpalit dalam isu-isu korporat, khususnya berkaitan dengan pelayaran kapal yang dilaksanakan oleh keluarga beliau. Dan pada masa sama juga beliau juga turut menjelaskan tentang pentingnya menjaga turun-temurun perniagaan turun-temurun, iaitu berkaitan dengan perkapalan dan sebagainya, dan itu juga menunjukkan bahawa metafora tentang pentingnya menjaga tanah air dan juga pentingnya menjaga identiti daripada keluarga dan juga negara sendiri.
I think you just say something about the negara, right? It is something indeed about loving the country. And then another part is that about this novel, it's also talking about the business, which is the ship business in Malaysia, especially I think it's in East Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Near Terengganu, this area. I've been to Terengganu actually this year, and then it is insanely beautiful. I would say it is one of the most religious part of I think Malaysia. And then when I'm reading this book, I can feel it is indeed the most religious. You can feel how they, like the iman inside in themselves. From Fatima, it really touched me. I nearly cried at the end before I got to know what's their past and these things. And then also about Uncle Muawiyah and then these things. So. Yeah, it is a nice novel. And then I think we can start with the questions. Okay, the first question, maybe you can ask first.
Okay, berkaitan dengan soalan saya ada satu soalan berkaitan dengan novel ni. Berdasarkan pembacaan saya, watak Wifada tu, dia ada berkenaan dengan beberapa macam mimpi dan juga firasat yang dia peroleh sepanjang pembacaan saya ni lah. Jadi saya nak tanyakan kepada doktor berkenaan dengan dia punya firasat dan mimpi ni. Apa pandangan doktor? Kenapa masyarakat Melayu seperti yang dipaparkan watak Wifada Melayu kan, menganggap salah satu mimpi dan juga tanda firasat ini sebagai salah satu perkara yang perlu mendapat perhatian besar dalam melaksanakan tugasan harian ataupun dalam kehidupan. Okay.
Terima kasih Farhan dan Ali memperkenalkan novel ini, Bedar Sukma Bisu, yang mana diterjemahkan oleh Datuk Zawiah Baba, juga sebenarnya bekas fellow penyelidik utama di Isu Alam Tambatan Melayu. Beliau adalah bekas Ketua Pengarah Perpustakaan Negara dan beliau telah meninggal dunia. Jadi ini salah satu kerja terjemahan beliau yang sering disebut-sebut orang. Jadi saya juga gembiralah dapat bekerjasama dengan beliau, arwah Datuk Zawiah. Dan novel ini diambil oleh Peguin Random House Southeast Asia untuk diterbitkan kembali 2025, dan saya dalam rangka mempromosikanlah novel ini. Jadi menjawab soalan Farhan tu, dia berkenaan dengan mimpi kan. Baik, kalau dalam orang Melayu sebenarnya, firasat dan mimpi ni dia adalah salah satu epistemologi Melayu. Dia adalah salah satu sumber ilmu orang Melayu. Selain daripada yang biasa Al-Quran, hadis, sebagainya kan. Tapi firasat adalah ilmu salah satu ilmu atau sumber ilmu orang Melayu. Jadi firasat ini rejang juga, macam astrologi dan sebagainya, ini juga adalah satu yang dijadikan panduan untuk orang Melayu untuk mereka berbuat sesuatu. Jadi firasat ni dia adalah kitab-kitab banyak tentang firasat ni kan. Kalau kita biasa dengan mitos ataupun sejarah orang Melayu dan sebagainya, kita baca naskah-naskah klasik lama sebagainya, kita akan dapati bahawa ada macam-macam firasat. Contohnya firasat, kita panggil firasat mimpi. Firasat ni apa? Firasat ni adalah tanda melihat pada wajah ni, dia akan tahu apa yang akan berlaku. Ni ilmu. Jadi kadang-kadang kita tengok orang Melayu, dia tengok macam, dia pandang itu kan, rasanya macam kau ni nak kahwin tak lama lagi. Ataupun dia pandang, tengok macam, tapi dia biasanya tak sebut. Dia akan kata macam berhati-hati di jalan raya. Maksudnya dia boleh mengagak ataupun menelah bahawa seseorang itu mungkin akan ditimpa musibah, kemalangan dan sebagainya, mungkin kematian kan. Dan kita ada orang Melayu dulu kita dengar macam orang macam moyang saya tu, dia kemaskan semak samun depan rumah. Orang semua tu macam memang itu kebiasaan dia, tapi macam itu di luar kebiasaan sebab dia tengah tak sihat. Dia mengemas semak samun tu. Jadi bila orang tanya, dia kata ramai orang nak lalu nanti. Jadi itu firasat sebenarnya dia nak menunjukkan dia nak meninggal dah. Jadi firasat ni dia datang banyak. Itu ilmu tanda lah. Jadi tapi ilmu tanda ni dia tidak datang kosong. Dia datang daripada dia datang daripada mimpi. Kalau kita ingat cerita orang Melayu, mimpi, Hang Mahmud dia bermimpi ada cahaya bulan turun di ubun-ubun kepala anaknya. Anaknya itu menjadi tanda apa? Kalau cahaya bulan datang dalam mimpi ni biasa tanda apa?
Macam rezeki ke?
Rezeki ataupun tokoh. Kalau datang kepada ubun kepala bayi anak dia, budak ni akan jadi tokoh lah, akan jadi orang yang hebat lah. Kalau anak Hang Mahmud siapa?
Anak Hang Mahmud.
Kalau tahu ceritanya, kalau boleh recall,
Anak Hang Mahmud.
dia akan jadi tokoh hebat dalam sejarah Melayu.
Hang Tua.
Bagus. Jadi Hang Mahmud ni anak Hang Tuah. Hang Tuah bin Hang Mahmud lah.
Okay.
Jadi dia bermimpi. Itu firasat. Kemudian tu ada satu firasat lain. Firasat dipanggil tilikan nasib. Dia macam nak kata tilik nasib ni dia bukan macam tilik nasib yang haram tu. Dia macam dia ada alamat. Ya, contohnya saya pun sebab kita orang Melayu moden, kita tak tahu dia tengok langit, dia kata ini akan, dia kata marilah kita turun segera turun belayar kerana ada alamat geroda olah ular. Saya pun tak tahu apa tu. Kan itu kita orang moden, kita pun dah tapi itu kalau untuk orang Melayu lama itu adalah ilmu firasat, ilmu dan ternyata alamat tu adalah alamat buruk untuk raja. Bila dia turun nak pergi ke Singapura, alamat itu daripada tilikan nasib dia tu, dia tengok langit tu. Ternyata dia berlayar, lepas tu Sultan nampak ikan mas di air. Dia pandang ke bawah, mahkota dia jatuh ke dalam air. Hang Tuah macam biasa, mahkota jatuh dalam air, dia pun terjun lah, dia pun orang setia kata kan, terjun dalam air untuk dapatkan mahkota tu. Bila dia terjun dalam air tu, dia dah dapat mahkota tu, dia naik atas balik, timbul, datang buaya. Buaya datang, buaya libas dia, keris dia pula jatuh. Dia nak dapatkan keris dia, mahkota pun jatuh, keris pun jatuh. Jadi dua-dua hilang. Dua-dua habislah. Jadi itu kan tanda buruk. Jadi asal tadi geroda olah ular tu tadi dah tilikkan nasib yang tak baik gitu. Jadi kemudian tu ada firasat binatang. Firasat binatang ni kita tahu semua cerita pembukaan negeri Melaka. Bagaimana pelanduk tendang anjing kan. Teruslah jadi Parameswara kata ini boleh jadi negeri yang baik untuk dibuka, negeri untuk diterokai. Ini semua firasat. Kemudian inilah ilmu mimpi, ilmu firasat yang ada, dan tapi bila saya bancuh, saya letakkan dalam novel, untuk pembaca sastra atau pembaca barat, mungkin dia akan kata ini adalah elemen realisme magis, magic realism. Sebenarnya itu adalah budaya ataupun cara hidup, aturan fikir orang Melayu. Dia adalah sumber ilmu orang Melayu. Begitulah lebih kurang.
Baik.
Okay, and you just finished your question. I want to ask also one question about the, inside the novel there is Ben Qurtubi and then there's El Amin. They are both, Arabs from the Arab bloodline. So at the same time, when I was in Malaysia, I've seen like a lot of people actually have some Arab bloodlines. My friend, he is like his grandfather is Yemeni. So what I wanted to ask is, are you using this as an inspiration for creating this novel, or it's just you want to encourage maybe interracial marriages or something similar to that, or just want to reflect the Malaysian society?
Okay. So you as Arab yourself, you find it is a part of the important part in the novel.
It is like I find myself kind of myself, especially the second generation, which is between Fatima and Ben Qurtubi.
Okay, actually, I wish to portray the diversity of Malaysia's people in this particular novel. Among the characters, there are, for example, there are also with father, first husband are actually a Chinese descendant from East Malaysia, from Labuan, from Sabah, and others who come up from abroad, Arabs. So her second marriage with Al-Amin, she's Arab, and then her grandmother married to an Arab, from Algeria. So I just actually want to portray the not just intermarriage with Malays, but what happened is that when Chinese or Arabs, when they married with the Malay, they absorb into Malay lineage. So in Malaysia, this is the case. So intermarriage is actually central importance in this work, as you can see. For the greater message, actually, I wish to convey that Malay culture and intellect are not born in isolation, meaning that emerge from rich mingling of traditions, belief, and bloodlines. When two different race, ethnic, married, so they have these two different culture. So when it's emerge, so this help to enrich the capacity, the intellectual, the spiritual sometimes. So it give a lot of important. It upgrade human being.
So
in a way. So this is about the Malay people, because Malay used to be like this. This intermarriage is very common among the Malay. So and also with the novel having this character, I want to show that this novel is not about Malay supremacy. It's about the brilliance of Malay and excellent shape, nourished, made magical through borrowings and exchanges in the wider world, because of the intermarriage. So it's not just about Malay themselves.
Yes.
So it's impossible to have one race, one ethnic that can triumph, champion, and to survive the world, the modern world, only with themselves, with their own. They have to actually borrow or absorb something from, and intermarriage is one of the strategic, or one of the thing, one of the factor.
And that's cool, because you just mentioned about different, same as me. I'm also, you can say, like mixed bloodline. I'm not going to say I'm upgraded woman, but it just like I have both different culture background. It can make me understand people maybe easier, especially since I'm half Chinese, half Arab. So when I'm in Chinese society, it is very easy for me to understand them. And for me in Arab society as well, I'm very easy to get inside of them and then talk with them. So actually this really highlights what we call the Malaysian society, and not only Malaysian, also some part of my what we call background as well. And then I want to ask another questions before he asks his last question about Heikel's part. I think it's Wafada's son. I'm shocked about that he hugged his friend, which is Al-Amin, after he met him. After a long time, because his friend actually wanted to marry, his mother. For me, myself, I would be angry. So, what were you thinking about when you created this scene?
A friend, they said, his close friend is marrying his mother, the character's mother.
This is actually insane. I laughed, actually, honestly.
Why should I be angry? Because if you ask me, I mean, will I allow this to happen to my mother? But my mother is 75 years old. My father is different. She's 40 something. Why should be I angry? Because I think my mother is obviously not the wife of the prophet. Wife of the prophet is forbidden to marry another man after him, after the prophet, right? Actually, even my foremothers and aunts will wed more than once. And whether through separation or the death of a husband, it's very common actually among, especially Negeri Sembilan women, to remarry after husband pass away or after the divorce. It's a common among Malay people. Only only in the modern world, I think, that it becomes something sensational, become gossips among.
No,
among
it's not about. It's just like
society.
about your best friend. Sometimes you think you take your best friend to your house, and then suddenly he fall in love with your mom. Like
He's
what is
flirting
it?
with your mother.
Exactly. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I actually have this inside the book, but maybe I can read it if you want it. But only this part. Look, what did he said? Wow, that's great, Min. Now you are my father. I thought you were just going to be my friend, but this is even better. I swear, and because the front line was a bit serious, but when I reached this line, I actually started to like this novel, honestly, because it started to getting outside of the box. I was like, okay, this Haikal is thinking very different than other human beings. Yeah. So about this part, I really like it. And maybe if you have another question about,
Finish all of your questions.
okay, I'll finish all of my question first. Okay, Bole. And then, okay, this is actually one sad part after this happy part, which is about Uncle Muawiyah. Because, you know, Uncle Muawiyah, in the beginning of the storyline, it's not that clear about his background. And then you also mentioned about his appearance, right? But I forgot what is, but he's like more like Asian style or like Asian feature.
Not Arab feature.
Yeah, not Arab feature. Even though his father is supposed to be, you know, biological father is supposed to be, you know, Ibn Qurtubi. So I want to ask, it's like when reading about this, it reminds me of the Iranian movie, Turtles Can Fly, you know, because inside the movie, both the girl and her son died. The girl chose to suicide. And then at the same times, I remember the movie, like he pushed his son inside the, what you call the small lake, if I wasn't mistaken. And but the opposite happened with this novel. Like Fatima chose to raise this kid, raise Mr. What we call Uncle Muawiyah. So in your view, what responsibility does literature have in giving voice to the rape victims, and do you have any book about the wars that you want to recommend to us?
Definitely my book to recommend. Actually, this is a very a question of profound importance. Yeah, not only because it recalls a bitter wound in the history of nations, but because rape is one of the most terrible of war crimes. Yeah, it leaves scars that are indelible, impossible to erase. I write this novel actually with the memory of how countless Chinese women were raped during the Second World War, by Japanese soldiers. So such atrocities occurred not only in China, but also across the Malay world when they came here, when the Japanese came here. Yet because our society is Malay, Eastern and Muslim, these stories are often buried, silenced and left unspoken. People don't want to discuss this because, well, you're supposed to be, you're a Muslim woman, you're an Eastern woman, so you just need to keep silence about it.
Like,
So
shame culture.
yeah, it's a shame culture. So when I was writing this novel, also the trauma of the war in Bosnia and Serbia still lingered. At that time in the 90s, at Srebrenica during the genocide, thousands of Bosnian Muslim women were raped and made pregnant. They were even bound to prevent abortion. In this, rape was not incidental, but wielded deliberately as an instrument of war. So today, we hear stories from Palestine, from Gaza, from the West Bank. Zionist forces continue to use rape as a weapon, violating not only women, but men as well. Boys and young men have been assaulted with instruments so brutal that their intestines rupture, some dying from their injuries. For this reason, such horrors must find their place in literature. We have to include this in literature. So how then do the characters in my novel go on living? It is clear that the grandmother figure bears the deepest wound. She becomes a woman half deranged, unable to think clearly, yet she survives, sustained by memory alone. She lives because she remembers the sweetness of her husband, Ben Kuturbi, and because she wants her children to carry forward his legacy, his mastery of the sea and of seafaring, the shipping industry. So nor should we forget the character of Ben Kuturbi, who too is shattered by this crime. His spirit destroyed until he vanishes altogether. So war trauma then is calamity we, across all races, would rather forget, but tragically it is not so easily forgotten. I think as you as someone come from from two sides, Palestine and China, yeah. So you can relate this very well. Yeah. So this is, I think, that we need to have in our literature to remind the next generation. But this happened, and this need to stop. This need to stop. So yeah,
I can understand it very well. It's really sad, honestly, when I reached this part. Since just you said half Palestinian, half Chinese. We've been taught patriotism since we were kid about our memory from the past, how Japan invaded us during the World War, and the same in Palestine that is happening now. That's sad. But what can I say is, I hope that it won't happen, even though it is happening. But novel is a good style as a weapon to go against this kind of crime. And then just they say pen is like sword, it can fight as well. So I hope Dr. Faisal can use his pen to fight against the unfairness and injustices in this world. Thank you, Dr. Faisal, for this point. And then one last question is just another thing about intergenerational relationship, but it's about Wafeda and Alamin, because it highlights the tension in culture and religious identity, right? So what does this tell us about the social barriers surrounding mixed marriages in Malaysia?
Okay. This is another important topic or subject in this novel. Actually, I wish to highlight most strongly in this, the Prau, the silent soul, is the question of identity politics. Yeah, I come from a country where identity politics has long been a thorn in the flesh. Race or even culture should never be shackles to human identity. So no one should be confined to a single identity. Rather, a person must carry multiple identities: political, cultural, spiritual, and it is precisely this multiplicity. We have many things that lend strength both to the individual and to the society. So I wish the readers to understand this. Yeah, about the political identity. Take my own great-grandmother, for instance. She married a Chinese migrant newly arrived from China. So my great-grandmother is actually, she married to Chinese man coming from China, who took the Muslim name Suden Leong. Yeah? This was before the First World War. Actually, for us, her descendants, such a choice seems both wondrous and extraordinary, because for Malay women at that era were thought to have neither voice nor agency. So yet perhaps it was less strange within our family, because we came from Negeri Sembilan, actually Nanning. Yeah? The society rooted in matriarchal tradition. So my society is matriarchal. So still, this is remarkable, because as the matriarch, she chose her partner a foreign man, a Chinese man. To me, that decision was one profound courage, and nobody knows actually our descendants. I mean, to discuss about it. What happened? I mean, how did she convince her father, I want to marry a migrant Chinese man? Yeah? Perhaps my great-grandfather was very poor. He just came from China. So such was the strength of the Malays in the past. Yeah? A strength now eroded, narrowed by the stranglehold of identity politics and the cries of, in Malaysia, this supremacy, Malay supremacy, ketuanan Melayu. So my novel actually asks boldly, what does it mean to be Malay? What does it mean and how? So of course I could have written of a Malay man marrying a foreign woman, but I choose a Malay woman marrying a foreign man. So, but that would be far too ordinary, yeah? A Malay man era married a foreign woman. So it is ordinary. So narrative requires what is extraordinary. So the issue is actually about race identity, about identity politics. So that's why I have this kind of plot inserted or crafted in my novel.
Yes, that's really interesting. I didn't expect this actually deep like this, honestly. Do you have any other question?
Okay, Doktor, saya ada soalan terakhir lah untuk kita punya bual bicara ni. Okay, dalam novel ni kita tengok ada beberapa cara hidup orang Melayu. Contoh macam isunya macam berbakti pada tanah dan juga laut. Seperti kita tahu dalam novel ni, dia punya setting tempat tu di Terengganu. Dan berkaitan juga dengan isu perkapalan, pembinaan kapal dan sebagainya. Dan itu juga one of the sosioekonomi orang Melayu di sana lah kan, sampai hari ni pun. Dan teknik-teknik pembinaan seperti pembinaan kapal dan sebagainya itu pun diterapkan dalam novel ni dari sudut tekniknya, caranya, coraknya dan sebagainya, dan juga beberapa nama-nama Melayu seperti Atuf dan sebagainya kan. Okey, jadi saya nak tanyakan kepada doktor, macam mana novel ni dapat membantu pembaca-pembaca novel untuk lebih memahami falsafah dan cara hidup masyarakat Melayu sendiri, seperti mana yang dipaparkan dalam novel ni lah.
Okey. Terima kasih soalan ni. Soalan yang baiklah juga. Dia sebenarnya ialah berkaitan dengan, saya nak karang sebenarnya tentang malakah. Malakah ni adalah satu konsep yang diperkenalkan oleh Ibn Khaldun dalam mukadimah. It's a concept. Malakah introduced by Ibn Khaldun, satu konsep diperkenalkan oleh Ibn Khaldun. Malakah ni apa? Malakah ni adalah satu kesempurnaan manusia ataupun kehebatan, kebolehan manusia, bakat manusia, kualiti yang datang daripada jiwa yang mendalam, kental. Dia terbentuk dengan amalan. Dia banyak buat kali pengulangan, dia buat banyak kali, dia jadi perfect. Dia jadi sempurna dan dibantu oleh kecekapan semula jadi bakat lah. Jadi ini adalah asas kepada kehebatan sesuatu bangsa. Dan kalau kita orang Melayu, malakah tu bahasa Arab, Ibn Khaldun guna. Malakah ni istilah dia ialah handal. Kehandalan orang Melayu. Jadi orang tengok handal Melayu mencipta keris. Keris tu kalau kita kaji, ada pelajar PhD Atma, dia dah meninggal dah pun. Dia kaji tentang dia ambil keris, beberapa keris. Dia kaji dari segi aspek metalurgi. Berapa persen besi, berapa persen apa benda lah, asas-asas yang kalau ada perak ada berapa tu kan. Jadi itu agak sempurna tau. Maknanya ada berapa persen tu agak konsisten untuk mendapatkan keris yang baik. Jadi ilmu tu datang daripada mana? Masa tu orang buat keris tu macam mana dia tahu? Kan? Macam mana dia tahu zaman Sriwijaya dah orang dah buat bina tembok dia campurkan 2-3 jenis batu dan tanah. Macam mana orang Melayu tahu pada waktu tu di zaman Sriwijaya? Jadi ini handal Melayu, iaitu maknanya dia tahu daripada alam semula jadi, dia tahu juga daripada pengulangan, maknanya dia dah buat banyak kali, dan itu menghasilkan kesempurnaan. Termasuklah dalam kes ini Bedar buat kapal. Jadi malakah ataupun handal ni dia tak datang kosong. Dia datang daripada 4 tahap paling tidak. Kalau Ibn Khaldun kata 4 tahap ni ialah pertama tahap tahap pertama boleh membezakan baik dan buruk. Dia tahu benda ni benda buruk, tak payah buat. Benda ni benda baik. Jadi kita panggil mumayyiz kan. Kalau belajar agama di peringkat fardu ain dulu kan. Kemudian itu boleh membezakan. Jadi kanak-kanak boleh membezakan baik buruk tu. Akal tamyiz dipanggil. Kemudian tu dia ada eksperimen pula, dia naik satu tahap. Eksperimen intelek. Jadi dia pegang api, kita kata api panas. Api panas. Tapi itu ilmu yang orang beritahu. Api panas. Tapi bila dia pegang, kanak-kanak tu cakap, oh panas. Baru dia tahu, oh macam ni. Jadi baru dia tahu masuk dalam kepala dia, because ada eksperimen tu ini. Jadi dalam hal orang Melayu membina macam buat keris apa semua tu, dia banyak bereksperimen, buat songket, banyak kali eksperimen tu baru sampai perfection tu. Kalau tak, dia tak sampai benda tu. Jadi dia dah tahu beza baik buruk, dia naik satu tingkat, dia melakukan eksperimen, experimental intellect ini. Ini akan berkait dengan hasil dia dengan ilmu, dengan persekitaran kita, dengan lingkungan ya. Kemudian tu dia ada naik satu tahap lagi, kita panggil an-nazari, speculative intellect. Ini dia ada andaian, ini dia ada sains, dia dah mula masuk sains, ada persepsi indrawi. Kalau kita buat gini dia jadi macam mana? Kalau kita buat gitu jadi macam mana? Dia sudah ada berteori dan juga sudah dia dah masuk ke peringkat yang membahaskan tentang perkara-perkara abstrak yang mana orang Melayu dah tempuh bila teks-teks seperti Aqaid An-Nasafi muncul, kitab-kitab lama yang banyak dikaji oleh Profesor Diraja Syed Naqib Al-Atas itu semua tu masuk satu peringkat yang ketiga. Ni orang Melayu dah tempuh semua ni. Yang lain tu ialah intellectual truth, itu tahap tertinggi lah, mencapai kesempurnaan akal, kemurnian jiwa. Ini yang individu-individu tertentu je capai. Dan sekiranya ramai individu tertentu ni capai, barulah bangsa tu jadi hebat. Maknanya ada banyak tokoh. Jadi itu yang kita nak pupuk. Jadi Malakah ni, handal ni dia kena dipupuk. Jadi saya dalam novel ni saya nak tunjukkan bahawa orang Melayu handal dan benda ni pernah berlaku dan kita kena pupuk. Dan bukan maknanya dia bukan datang tiba-tiba, dia bukan muncul tiba-tiba macam tu.
Okey, kita pun dah berada di pengakhiran bual bicara ni. Okey, terima kasih doktor sebab dapat luangkan masa bersama untuk kita buat sembang berkaitan dengan novel ni lah. Okey, sebelum kita berakhir sepenuhnya, kami nak buat sedikit lah promotion berkaitan dengan tempat di mana kita bersiaran pada hari ini, iaitu Oya Cafe. Okey. Kat sini banyak makanan yang sedap lah, dan kat sini pun Cafe Oya ni banyak masakan Johor, masakan Western, semua sedap-sedap. And Ali, how about this restaurant?
This restaurant's honestly very cute. You can see the style, kind of like mix between traditional Western Malay, all kinds of vibe, and then they even have some piano. If you want to play it, you can come and play it. And about the food, Allah, mashallah, Western style, any style they have it. I hope I can try the Malay food after a while. It must be good.
Dan doktor pun saya dapat ilham kalau pergi sini.
Saya sebenarnya saya seorang penulis kafe. Penulis kafe ni saya menulis di kafe. Di banyak macam saya tak tahu bila saya punya habit ni muncul. Tapi saya tahu salah seorang pengarang besar, Najib Mahfuz. Najib Mahfuz daripada Mesir juga, dia menulis di beberapa kafe. Katanya ada 5 buah kafe. Jadi Cafe Oya ni adalah salah satu kafe yang saya agak kerap juga datang menulis. Jadi saya pun ada 5 buah kafe yang saya rotate, yang saya gilirkan. Jadi ini adalah salah satu kafe yang saya biasa menulis lah dekat sini. Di betul-betul di spot ni.
Spot sini. Okay.
Dengan belakang ada cermin itu kan. Gitu. Jadi dia di Bandar Puteri Bangi. Kalau saya datang, saya akan ambil makanan-makanan Johor ni lah. Laksa Johor ada kacang pul. Jadi boleh datang check Cafe Oya ni.
Okay, jomlah nanti kalau sempat, jomlah marilah kita singgah ke Oya Cafe ni. Okay, so kita pun tamatkanlah kita punya berbicara ni. Okay, Assalamualaikum dan jumpa lagi insyaAllah.
Terima kasih Ali. Thank you.
Terima kasih doktor.
Terima kasih.